Welcome to Theater Crafts. All right, so this week I found myself with a challenge. I was cleaning out some things and I had this little box. It was a wooden box and it had little feet on it, and it was kind of falling apart. I had kept some old jewelry in it and I was going to toss it. And then I realized that I really needed a place to store my pens on my work desk. So I decided to take that box, and I had this like gift wrap that was theater themed. And I thought, oh my golly, I could combine those and make this box for pens. And so I just think it's so cute. And I've got some pens that I had made from a previous theater craft. I put those in the box. And how fun is that? So I'm going to show you how I made that today. So let's get crafting. Okay, so here's the box that I was telling you about. See, it's kind of ripped on the side, and it's structurally fine, but it just wasn't really kind of visually appealing. So I was going to toss it, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute, I could use this. And then I'm going to use Mod Podge. I'm going to paint, and mostly paint just so that I can cover the existing image there. I think I'm going to put gold on the bottom of the feet. And then this is a gift wrap that I was telling you about. It came in a package. I got it on Amazon, and I just really love the images. And I thought it would be really fun to take one of those images and put it on the box, and just kind of looking here, like how large the image is. And then I thought I would just kind of edge it with this trim. So you can use this obviously with any wrapping paper that you've got. I just happen to have this one. So basically what I'm doing here is I wanted to just kind of paint, just get a coat of paint on this, just so that the image that's already on here doesn't bleed through the wrapping paper. I probably didn't have to do this because the wrapping paper is quite thick, but I thought I would just do that anyway, just to be safe. So literally I'm just putting a coat of paint all over this. Now, if you don't have one of these boxes, obviously, you can just use a regular box, and the feet are just kind of wooden beads. So you could take any old box that you have, a cardboard box, and you could cover it with a wrapping paper, and it doesn't have to be theater wrapping paper. That just happens to be what I have. But you could put a beautiful wrapping paper on it, and then take wooden beads and put wooden beads on the bottom of your box just to elevate it a little bit. It really gives it kind of like a much more special look. So that's something that you certainly could do if you don't have a wooden box like this. And I'm going to be honest, I really would love to, I love to kind of recycle materials if I can, and upcycle materials. So I'm really thrilled that I'm able to take this particular box and make it into something that feels a little bit more special. And so here's the bottom. I thought it would be kind of cool to paint these feet gold. I thought it would kind of elevate it a little bit. And so I've got this gold paint, and I really am more focused on the feet because that's what you're going to see. But I did put some paint on the white. It kind of was a little streaky, and I feel like I probably would have to put multiple layers. But I just want to kind of tone down the white a little bit on the bottom. But my focus for this is mostly the feet. And I do have to admit, I put about 3 coats of this gold on the bottom and on the feet, just to make sure that it was really covered. And I did let it dry really well in between each coat. When you look at the finished product, boy, it looks really cool. I just think the gold really looks so special. Now, of course, you don't have to do this. You might even have gold, like balls that, or ornaments, or jewels or something like that you could use. Okay, once it was dry, then I decided I took a measurement. So it's about 4 inches. And I took the paper. I chose this paper here, and I decided I wanted to cut it down so that I got the most of the images as I could. So I decided to cut a little bit off the bottom there, just so that it's going to be covered by the trim anyway. So I kind of cut that out. My cutter's not quite as long as the paper, so I had to use scissors to cut the end off. But then just cutting that 4 inches, just using a paper cutter. You can use scissors if you don't have a paper cutter, but I'm just cutting the 4 inches there. And I just think this particular paper I thought looked really cool. I love the colors of it. And look at that, just the different theater images. Thought that was awesome. So now just basically kind of unfolding it. I cut 2 pieces, but unfolding it, and we're going to, there's the trim. We're going to put that on the box. So here it is. I'm using just a Mod Podge. I happen to have a dishwasher safe Mod Podge, which I thought might be kind of good if I want to wash the ends, like if I got, I don't know, ink on it or pencil on it or whatever. You don't have to. If you have regular Mod Podge, that's fine, but this happens to be what I had. So I'm literally just painting this Mod Podge on the box, and I'm going to do one side at a time just to make it a little bit easier so that I don't get the paper all messed up, because I know me, I sometimes can do that. So just putting it down, and I decided to put it on the corner. I kind of was going back and forth, but I decided to put it over in the corner. And if it's not fully aligned on the top or the bottom, it's okay, because we're going to add the trim anyway. So just pushing that down, making sure I've got it as affixed as I can. You are going to get bubbles a little bit. I did, but I actually kind of don't mind it. You'll see it. You'll see at the end. So again, putting just the Mod Podge around the entire piece. I am going to put Mod Podge over the top of it as well, like I said, so that I can wipe it down if I need to, because it is going to be sitting on my desk and it could get, a little messy. So just, here we go, just kind of making sure that corner, I get that corner down, and then just smoothing it out. I'm just smoothing it with my hands. If you have, a brayer or something like that, you can certainly use that as well. Now, if you notice, my gift wrap has a fold, so I was very conscious of the fold on the gift wrap. So you just want to make sure that you flatten that down as well as you can, so that it doesn't kind of stick out. You'll see here, I've got the fold right there. So I'm just trying to get that down as much as I can, and making sure that corner is really affixed as well. And then moving on to this last side. And just making sure that that is nicely covered, and just going to add the paper to the last side, and then I'm going to fold it over just a little bit, just to make sure that we don't have any blank holes. I could have put some trim on the sides as well. I thought about that, but I decided against it. So I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't line up perfectly, but I'll put that in the back, when I've got it on my desk. So just cutting this down, and I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on this just to make sure that that is secured down as well. And I am going to put, like I said, a light coat over the top. You want to be careful, because if you put too much, it's gonna really buckle. Mine did, like I said, a little bit, but I kind of don't mind it. And I was able to smooth some of them out with my, just my fingernail even. Look at those gold balls on the bottom of the feet. I love them. I think they look so rich, and really add kind of to the theater glam on this. I think it's really cool. All right, so I'm going to finish putting Mod Podge over the whole thing, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so here it is all dry. And like I said, there are a few bumps, but I actually don't mind it. So now I'm going to take the trim and with some trims, depending on the kind of trim you have, sometimes it's really they unravel. So using a lighter might be a way to kind of singe those edges. So that's what I was trying to show you there. And literally all I'm doing this is hot gluing this trim to the top just to hide that kind of edge there. And just using the hot glue gun. Now, I kind of toyed with putting maybe some felt on the inside, but decided because I'm using it for pens, if the pen leaked, it might, be rather messy on the inside. So I decided not to, that way I can wash it a little bit easier. So just putting the top, and then once I put this trim on the top, I decided that it needed to go on the bottom too, just to kind of make it look a little bit more finished on the bottom as well. Now, this is trim I had. You could certainly put ribbon if that is something that you like, something that goes along with the particular wrapping paper that you have. I just liked this, and I just think it's so cute. Look at those gold feet on this. I just think that's so sweet. And like I said, you can use it. I can use it for pens. You can use it for, I don't know, paper supplies, paper clips, anything that you've got. Maybe hair ties would be really fun if you have it on your vanity. That would work as well. And so there it is. How cute is that? And here it is with some pens in it. I hope you enjoyed today's theater craft. I will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.